Well, the summer's come and gone. It's been busy. We've got a very, very difficult season up ahead. Okay, everybody, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. I'm Millers. This is In the Dugout FM. We're now in August. Our first game is upon us. We're away at Accrington, just up the road from me, so not a million miles. That's ideal. I can probably just drive there myself rather than catch the bus. Let's go through what we've done in the window. It's been a busy one, but as I thought, the budget that we've got, it's just not cutting the mustard. And I just want to show you a quick couple of things, right? So we're in the National League now. Let's look at season ticket income. Doncaster, 1.1 million. Curzon, 48 grand. Brilliant. Sponsorship income. Forest Green, £3 million. Curzon Ashton, 14 grand. It's just, we're nowhere near. We are absolutely nowhere near. With that being said, with the work we've done in the summer, and I say we because it's me and the director of football doing this, we're forecast to finish 19th, right? Which isn't the worst. If you look at where the competition, so in terms of who goes down, so there's 4 go down, 21st is the cut-off. So we're anticipated to have an hard season, but not miss out on, not go down. So, and when you think that's what the board want us to do, I suppose that's okay, right? But it's just, I feel like it's going to be a difficult one this year. So let's get into it then in terms of what's happened from a transfer perspective. If we go back, see if we missed anybody back then. So you knew about all of those guys going out. The director of football made 2 signings at the back end of the season. He signed Ashley Hunter as he felt we were a little bit weak on the left-hand side. And I understand that, although he has paid through the nose for him in terms of his salary, which has affected us. And he's also brought in young Mason Crawford. Not really a fan. It's not really costing us a huge amount of money. He's going to go into the under-18s. If I'm going to play anybody of that age, I'm probably going to play Ross Erskine, who's in our under-18s. If I see if I can find him for you. There he is. There's the boy. So he did really well for us last season in the youth, and he's arguably got better stats than Crawford. So if I was going to play somebody of that age, I'd probably bring him in. Back to transfers though. So transfer history. We'll go back a season again. So there we go. Righty-ho. So, those were the 2 that he brought in. We released Miles Story, Troublemaker. That's fine. We released a couple of others towards the back end of the season. When it comes to this summer, though, we have really not managed to shift that many players out the door. There's been some released on contracts, of course. That's been, So we released Jamie Allen. We've released Mackenzie Heaney. I told you I was going to take a bump on him. Keenan Ferguson's gone and Jack McDowell have gone. So they've gone out at the end of their contracts. No hard feelings, but they just weren't cut out for the next level up. Marcus Posher, I like the kid, but he wants to play more, and I get that. So we've sent him out on loan, and we're getting his wages paid, so he's gone to Spennymoor. Narelle Phillips wanted to play more, wasn't really, in my opinion, of the right level. So we've sold him. We managed to get some money in from Yeovil. We got 5 grand, and then 2 of the youth players. One's gone out on loan, and one's left on a free. He's gone to Gütersloh. So, what did we do on the inbound transfers? So we had a real weakness at right wing, particularly with Jamie Allen going out on a free. And we needed to strengthen in that area, and I'm delighted to say we have. So we've brought in Ranel Young, who is worlds above, absolutely superb. Got released by Liverpool. We've managed to pick him up on a free, although we are paying quite a bit of money for him. Then we've brought in Noah Kwamya as cover, so he's not going to be the first choice right midfielder, but he's going to be there as cover, and he can also cover on that left hand side for me as well, which is ideal because I can play him out there as an inside forward. We brought him in from Sheffield United on a free. Then we brought in Jacob Lara. This kid's on loan, so really just a cover signing for us. We're paying 30 quid a week, so you know the director of football's done a great job there for me in bringing in somebody who we can use if we need to, but somebody who actually isn't going to cost me an arm and a leg. Then we got really active. Let's do one more defender. Sorry, we've brought in Rio. So Rio's going to be our right back, our right wing back. He's a step above Ahoy, if you ask me, and I'm the one that's going to pick the team, so you are asking me. Brought him in from Middlesbrough again on a free. We are paying quite a bit of money for him, but I think he adds a level of quality down that right-hand side, and with him and with Young, I think we're really strong down that right-hand side now, which is a real threat. And then we've really bolstered the midfields. We've brought in 3 midfielders, one who I'm probably going to play as a centre-half in Ben, and one I partly signed because of his name. But look, let's have a look at them. Ben. So Ben's a boy that we've brought in. He was at Burnley, never really cut the mustard. He had a season at Swindon on loan, you know, and he's played 20 games there in League Two, so he's got a load of experience. Great player. Was great in pre-season for us. So we've brought him in. Yes, I'm paying a lot of money for him. Yes, he warrants it. Fenton John, mainly so I can do the meme.
Fenton! Fenton! Oh, Jesus Christ! Fenton!
But this kid in central midfield, absolutely superb. Again, tore it up pre-season. Let's have a quick look where he came from. Middlesbrough again, so we've raided the northeast. But yeah, very good. Adds a level of depth that we didn't have before. And then we've also brought in Terrell. So Terrell Agimang, again, really good level of quality. A good step up for us. Paying for it, yes, but we need to. And again, the Middlesbrough Academy has done a bit for us. So we've been active, but the problem with that is we're now spending an absolute boatload of money, and I can't get it done for this. You know, we put all of our transfer budget into wage. We then put the £5,000 we got for Phillips into wage, but I'm still, the best part of 1,500 quid over my budget. So that's not great. Our finances are not in the best predicament. You saw what Wayne has done in terms of his commercial exposure. So I'm worried. And I'm worried about that because I don't really have the requisite quality in a number of other areas as well. So we've got a couple of lads in on trial as centre forwards, and they make Josh look poor. So Jason Cowley, really good player, Spent the last couple of seasons at Hereford, scored goals at this level, so knows what he's doing. So can compete here, no problem at all. And he did great pre-season for us, but again, I can't afford him. And then the boy Gabriel, he's all about potential, I think, to be fair, but he could do bits for us now. Reminds me a little bit of Albie. Look at that, proper baby face as well. Could come in, cause some real problems for us, but I can't afford to pay him any money, and they're not going to sign for free, right? So I have challenges there. I've got Joel on the transfer list. He's just, as you bring in these players, he goes down the pecking order, right? And the same for Isaac, and the same for Tom Wilson. Now, I can't get anyone to want to bring him in. No one fancies them, and I don't, I've got them set at sell for any price, by the way, so I'm not trying to ask an exorbitant amount of money, but nobody really fancies them, and I understand that, but it leaves me with a real challenge. So there we go. This is how we're going to line up then. So this is the squad that's done really well pre-season. Patterson Powell, the new right back, to go on that right hand side with Young. Ward probably isn't going to start there. We're going to start with Ben Ward. Ben Ward, sorry. Ben Ward's going to start, no problem at all. I was getting him confused with Tom Wilson. And then the boy Lara, who's on loan, they're going to be our starting centre-half pairing. And then Rowe at left-back. Horan's done great pre-season, and he did well towards the back end of last season, so I'm not going to drop him. He's going to be that holding midfielder for me with John and Ajimang or Fenton.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Fenton!
Up in there in centre midfield, and then we've got Young, Hunter and Allen up top. It is worth just mentioning we made a bit of a change. Jonathan Hill's come in as our director of football. He replaced Will Pugh. Just a little bit more quality. He spent some time with some significantly large clubs, so United, City, Fulham, Sheff Wednesday. It was a no-brainer, and he's added some quality for us already. So that was a no-brainer to do, and then I've managed to get the board to let me have one more coach. And then the last point to touch on, which you'll all be delighted about because I was absolutely delighted, we've gained an extra half a star, right? So from a reputation perspective now, I think we're nominal. What are we? Minimal. So I'm minimal. I'm known, partly known, which is good. But you'll also see there that it says I'm studying for my Continental C. So the board have eventually sprung the 600 quid to let me go on the course. And I'm now studying for my Continental C licence, which will help us in terms of reputation and will help us look to try and kick on. Out of interest, when you look at the league, just quick look at the league and look at the managers, 1 star is the minimum at this level. So I think the board had no choice really to go and do that and get me sent out on a course. You've got some very, very well-known managers in comparison to me managing at this level. So, another hill we're trying to push water up. But look, that's where we are. There's going to be some work in the transfer market. The window at this level doesn't close, so there's going to be some ongoing work. I'm probably going to have to look at loans for up front, unless something really, really changes in our finances, because I can't see me managing to offload 1,500 quid's worth of talent to enable me to re-spend money we don't actually have. But there we go. So that's pre-season. We did okay. We absolutely battered United under 21s. That was a really good game for us. We went to Lancaster and won. Went to Hemel Hempstead and lost. We rotated heavily for that game. But it's been okay, and I'm not really concerned about the results. The boys did all right, and that's fine. But now we've got a very, very difficult game against Accrington. The board and the fans expect me to get beat, so that's one thing, I suppose. I'm not going to look forward to it like that, though. We've got to go and we've got to try and commit ourselves. Accrington are a semi-pro team like we are. Since they've come down, they've clearly taken a step backwards. That kit's tremendous, by the way. I'm all about that. Look at that. I like the Accrington bricks as well. Very clever. So we're going to go into the game. Wish me luck, I suppose. Okay, we've made it to Accrington. Here we are. It's a lovely sunny day. This is the team that you will be familiar with now because we've just been through it literally seconds ago for you. So that's the starting lineup we're going to have. Mason's going to stay in goal. Mason's still our captain. Does great things for us. Rowe left back, Lara and Ward centre halves, Patterson Powell right back. Horan, John and Agimang make up that midfield three for me with Young, Hunter and Allen up front. So that's how it's going to start. Whether it ends that way, I don't know. It's interesting to see, these players take a step back in star rating when you start to bring in some other players of reasonable quality, which is good. That's really what you want. You expect these players when you bring in better players, you expect them to cause problems, which is and that's ideally what they're going to do for us. So we're going to get this team submitted. I've got to do some squad numbers, so fine, no problem. 25. Rio should really be 2, but you can't be 2, and you can't be 32, so you'll be 42. Terrell is our centre midfielder. Big hard man, 18. 19. And Fenton.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Fenton!
And Fenton is going to be our 10. Okay, good stuff. Right, let's get that done then. Let's go to the game. I don't hold out very much hope. But nonetheless, we've got to compete, right? I mean, they've not seen a Lara masterclass. I've no idea what Lola's watching. And they don't like the fact that Ward's starting. Interesting. He's by far our best centre-half, so not entirely sure what you're seeing. But look, fine. Okay, let's try and get him going for the game. we've got a reasonably solid squad. Like I've said, I want more money. They're not going to give it me. We are where we are. This might be Curzon's level unless we can try and find some money. And that's the reality of it. And I'll take that because, you know, we've got them here. We just need to perhaps find whether this is our level. And ultimately, when we're aiming for the Champions League, we know it's not, right? So let's see how we get on. If we can overperform at the National League, I'm hoping we'll get some clubs start to sniff around us. And if they do, then maybe it's time to consider that based on those figures that I showed you a little bit earlier on, right? You know, we can't continue bringing in 14 grand a year from a sponsorship deal. It isn't going to cut it at this level. You've seen what Forest Green make on an annual, and then you've seen what we make, and it just, you know, we're poles apart, aren't we? Accrington keeping the ball well, which you'd probably expect. You know, these guys are a League Two outfit, really, and they're competing with us now in the National League, and we are a National League North outfit who are significantly overperforming. So yeah, you'd expect them to dominate the game. You'd expect them to dominate play. I'm all right with that. I'm not all right with John taking a knock. That's not great news. I say that as we've got an opportunity. Cuts it back. No, we fire wide. Can he get through? What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? Okay, I'm not allowed to read that, it seems. Wash. What happened there? Crumbs. Mace, good lad. He's dealt with it in the end. That looked all a little bit scruffy for me. But we've got it away. Let's deal with the corner if we can. Good stuff. Okay, so we'll get it into half-time. See if we can nurse John into half-time. There's been a couple of knocks, which isn't great. And it's our two new centre midfielders, which you just don't want to see. I'm not sure I'm equipped for it on the bench either, in reality, because you've only allowed 5 subs. And Tommy Lee nets just before half-time, and you don't want that. The lads are going to come in. I'm going to have to make 2 changes. And they're going to be downcast as it is. It's a lovely clip ball, to be fair. It sits well for him. Edge of the box. Stands one up. And Lee just nods in between our 2 centre-halves. Yeah, not the best goal in the world. Not the best goal in the world. Okay, we're going to have to make some changes. The 2 centre midfield lads have taken knocks. We've already said this isn't the game where we are going to decide our league because we're expected to get beat here. So I'm not devastated to make the changes by a long stretch. Let's have a see what we can do. What can we do? We can put Rowe in there because Rowe does a job, and we can bring Ahoy and play him left back. And we've brought Challoner on as well. Challoner did a great pre-season. I know his stats don't suggest he's got a lot, but you know, physically he starts to dominate and he makes some great decisions. So let's see what he can do. We give him a run out. Go back to the dressing room. I don't really want to be too harsh on the boys, but I'll say I expect better. You know, in the pre-season meeting we said fight bravely against relegation. All the lads were fully on board with that. I think they understand the level we're at too. Even with the new signings, you know, whilst we've done well to bolster the squad, we didn't have a lot to work with. Poupla has just come on for Accrington. So, there you go. It's something, isn't it? Poupla. Poupula? Popular. Popular. No. Okay. 82 minutes. We're not getting anything done here. I'm going to try and make a change. We've not really got a lot to do, to be fair. So Sinclair's going to come on with a little bit of a different option. See what we can do. But, you know, the reality is we are absolutely raw to the bone. As Accrington get another corner. Looks like they're loading up the front post. He's wasting a load of time. He's gone short to Poupla. Am I going to be punished for calling his name? Quite possibly as he resets. Fernandez on the edge. Skied it. No problem. No problem. Poupla living up to his name. And it looks like it's going to go out as a 1-0. And do you know what? I'm not massively disappointed. I know that sounds defeatist, right? But I'm not. You know, I'm not going to say you did yourselves proud. Well, am I going to say it? Sometimes I'm proud of your efforts. I am proud of your efforts. You know, to travel up here to a League Two outfit and perform like that, I'm not too dismayed, right? You know, we're competing against some really, really big sides at this level. So that's what it is. Fenton is going to be out for 8 days. Terrell's going to be out for another 2 or 3. Okay, well, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. It could have been better, of course it could. But, you know, actually, to come here and to only lose 1-0 in our first game at this level isn't the worst. And I'll stand by that. So, look, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this far. If you have, thank you for joining us on the journey. Do feel free to like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. In terms of when we'll come back, my thought process would be I'll try and get August and September out the way, and maybe we'll come back for Dorking at home with the cup, and we'll try and do it like that. FA Cup fourth qualifying round. We're further than we've been. Well, I think we got there once, but we're further than we would be starting for sure. So why don't we come back in October? We'll have a far more settled squad, I would hope, at that point. And then we can see exactly where we think the season's going to pan out. So unless anything happens in the meantime, I will see you in October. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.